I think when we talk about narrative, we talk about how we make a good plot to explain the events in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And last meeting, I think we talk about some of the plot and how we analyze the plot and the difference between plot and also the story itself.
Okay. How important is plot for you as a spectator?
It's pretty important. Like it can change how we see a movie and with a different plot, and it can become more interesting and have a special trait for the movie itself.
All right. So the difference between story and plot, do you still remember? Story is the what? The raw material, yeah? So everybody has story. That's the raw material, what it is about, right? But plot concern more on the how it is told, right? How it is delivered. Yeah, sometimes you start from the beginning, but sometimes some films start from the ending or from the middle, right? Like what happened in apa, Rose for Emily, for example. If you watch Rose for Emily, then you will start from the middle and then the end and then the beginning, something like that. So the plot could be could move forward or backward and forward at the same time. Okay, so well, the easiest one is chronological order, but you could have many other ways in telling story, and it influence how you receive the story, right? Some investigative movie or movie for detectives genre, I think sometimes start from the middle or even the ending. Okay, now we will. So cinematography. What do you know about cinematography so far? So it is on how, yeah, as the critic as at Cassia do Cinema maintain, the how is as important as the what in the cinema. But this is different from the how of the narrative. Last week we talked about the how of the narrative as the plot of the story, but this is what is seen, yeah, the how, but in terms of what you view or what you see or what the image that you see in the screen, yeah. So it's different from the plot as the storyline, yeah. You could move backward or forward or from the middle, something like that. But here what you see in the movie as the visual or part of the visual language of a film, yeah. So the look of an image, it's balance of dark and light, yeah. So sometimes you have a dark view and then light view, and the depth of the space in focus, and then the relation between the background of a character, for example, and the object or the subject of the movie, like the thing or the animal or the person that you see, and the foreground, all affect the reception of the image. Yeah. So what kind of background do you see? Like sometimes you have a dark background, sometimes you have light background, sometimes you have a gray background. Then it will, it will influence your reception or your analysis as you will move forward to become an analyst rather than just a common, a common watcher. Yeah. So this what relate to cinematography. Yeah. So we talk about this kind of issue. Yeah. The balance of darkness and the light, and then the movement of the camera. Yeah. That shoot the view, and then the size of the shot, for example, are all related to what we are talking about today. There is what's so-called cinematography. Cinematography, according to some scholars, is as important as the story and the acting. Yeah, last week we talked about the story, and you understand that the story is very important. Without story, the movie doesn't occur. Yeah, without plot, the movie does not feel, does not attract the audience. But today we talk more about cinematography. It is not as important as the story, because movie could tell story without great cinematography, although the impact of the story will be different if you use a great technique of cinematography and not. But it is also important, because sometimes you have story, but if you do not use great cinematography, it will appear boring and unattractive, and your audiences will leave the movie, yeah? Or stop watching it. Yeah? So, for instance, the optional optical qualities of grainy and black white in the Battle of Algiers. I think some of you might watch Battle of Algiers. Is a black white movie, yeah, talking about a war, yeah. But the choice, what we are talking about here, is the choice of the color, yeah, seem to guarantee its authenticity. So it deliberately, yeah, used, yeah, such kind of black and white light and dark light, yeah, to guarantee its authenticity. So this aim at giving great impact of the historical movie, like this kind of movie. Yeah? On the other hand, the shimmering technicolor of some musical, film, like to use brighter and colorful, brighter light and colorful color to suggest glamorous and glamorous impact, and emphasize the excitement of the movie. So they use that kind of technique, yeah, to give particular effect, yeah, of the movie to the watcher. Okay, this is example of what you see in the Battle of Algiers. Yeah, the light is mostly dark, and they use black and white color, yeah, and then very contradictory of what you are going to see in the side singing in the rain, yeah, a bright color, and then the light is also brighter than what happened in the previous movie that we talked about. Yeah. So what is actually cinematography? From the the word, yeah, you see that this is a Greek word, yeah. Kinema means movement, and then graphy or graphene means record, yeah, to record. So it means the making of lighting and camera choices, yeah, when recording photographic images for the cinema. So that's why we are going to talk about lighting, the use of light, and the impact that light could have, and also the utility of camera, where the camera should be positioned and how it moves, yeah, to give a great photographic image for the cinema. It is closely related to the art of still photography. So, well, also from the history that film or movie actually based on the art of still photography. Yeah? In the past, we did not have movie; we have still photography, and then people, try to develop it into more attractive, story, and that's when the movie born. Yeah. It relates to how the stages of pro-filmic event is photographed and framed, yeah. So pro-filmic, ya, event, ya. So bagaimana event itu secara pro-filmic dibuat, ya, so that it gives impact for the audiences. It also relates to how long the image lasts on the screen, yeah, of course, yeah. How much time, for example, the extreme shot is taken, yeah, to make the audience impressed to what happened in the mimics or the lips, yeah, of the character, for example, yeah. So not only on which shot or how much, size of the shot, but also the time spent, yeah, for the shot to occur in the movie, to appear in the movie, in the screen, sorry. So cinematographic techniques such as the choice of shot and the camera movement can greatly influence the structure and the meaning of a film. Yeah, I think you also understand this. Yeah, but sometimes as a watcher or spectators, we do not realize that. Yeah, we just watch the movie and follow and enjoy the story without paying attention. But nowadays, because you are going to be an analyst, a movie analyst, then you must pay attention to the details, yeah, like the shot and the camera movement. Okay. So, what is the role of cinematography? So, we have to understand what is their responsibility actually. So, of course, the big boss, yeah. The big boss is the director, yeah. So cinematographer or only translate, yeah, actually only translate what the director want to create, yeah. But actually cinematographer also have a range of creativity, yeah. So they also have freedom, actually. Jadi tidak hanya mengikuti gitu saja ya apa yang dikatakan oleh the director, but also sometimes they give suggestion, ya, to which angle or which movement is better to create much influential language of movie. So cinematographer is responsible to the technical aspect of the images, but works closely with the director. Of course, you see from this sentence that responsibility has impact to the creativity, ya. Jadi dia menerjemahkan sebetulnya, tapi dia harus work closely, ya, karena dia tidak boleh melanggar apa yang sudah menjadi guideline, ya, of the director, to ensure that the artistic aesthetics are supporting the director's vision. Jadi usually the director will state the vision since the beginning, yeah, and then of course go to the story, and then the cinematographer will try to translate the vision, yeah. But sometimes they also give artistic suggestion because they know much better, yeah, sometimes compared to the audience, sorry, to the director. So cinematographer may make many creative and interpretive decision, ya. Jadi mereka bisa saja have creative and interpretive decision, ya, but they have to consult to the director, of course. So what aspects of cinematography are there? Yeah, first that we are going to learn today is the size of shot. Yeah, the size of shot is how much size, yeah, you take, yeah, or the camera take, yeah, whether it's extreme close up or medium shot, or extreme or close up, just close up, yeah. So they are different and have different impact. The next aspect is camera angle, yeah. So angle is where, from which position do you take, the shot, yeah. So where do you put the camera, yeah. And then the next is the camera movement, yeah, from and towards which direction do you move the camera, and therefore it will of course produce different images and different shot, yeah. And the next and the last aspect of cinematography we are talking about today is the lighting. Yeah, the lighting is also very important to give, to is part of the language of the film or movie. Yeah? So first is the size of shot. Size of shot can influence the meaning an audience interprets. Yeah, the size of the subject in frame depends on two things. Yeah, the first is the distance the camera is away from the subject and the focal length of the camera lens. Jadi jarak ya, jarak antara kamera terhadap subject. It could be actor or actress or other thing, house, for example, or building, yeah, and the focal length, which is the focal length of the camera lens, yeah. The common shot size could include extreme close-up, which is the biggest one, yeah. So it's the camera position is very close to the subject, yeah, very close. So the focus of attention is sometimes eyes, yeah, or nose or lips, yeah, and in an extreme, size, yeah. Of course, it has, it has aim, yeah. It aims at, giving the audiences particular attention, yeah. So this is the focus of attention that the audience must pay, yeah? And then beside close up or extreme close up, you also have close up. This is a little bit, distant from the camera compared to the extreme close up. Of course, it has an aim to give not only part of object as particular size, but also the other, the other things around that focal point. Yeah, so it could be the whole face, for example, or the whole part of body. Yeah, for example. And then long shot is different from sorry, medium shot and then long shot and then extreme long shot, or sometimes you call it as establishing shot. Yeah. So this is size. Yeah. You could see from this, here, the picture here. Uh, this one above, you call it extreme close up. Yeah. As extreme close up one because you have eyes only here as focal point that you take, yeah, and then the extreme goes up to from here up to here, yeah, and then maybe you only interested in shooting the mount, yeah, and then you have close up, yeah, here, and then head close up from here to that part, and then yeah, so medium close up is this part, yeah, and then medium shot. I will give you example in the movie moving moving picture, yeah, later on, so that it gives you a clearer idea what it is, yeah. So medium sampai sini, and then medium full, ya, sampai sini, and then full figure. Ini juga bisa disebut medium juga, ya. Yeah, extreme close-up focuses on single facial feature such as only lips or only eyes or particular part of the skin of the body, fingers or feet. Yeah, this shot is so tight, yeah, that only a fraction of the focus of attention can be seen. Yeah, you give example here. Yeah, I think I'm not sure which, which movie this take, maybe from Joker, I'm not sure, yeah, you have to check it. And then this one I think is from Avatar. The focal point here is only the eyes, yeah, and only one part of the eyes. I think the director want to show, the reaction of this character, yeah, towards what happened at that time. And then this is also I'm not sure whether this is extreme close up or close up. Yeah, I think this one is close up. Yeah. Yeah, this one, certain features such as move someone's head takes up the whole frame. Yeah, I think the one that we have just seen is the close up, not extreme close up. Yeah, may be used to show attention. Yeah, yeah, not only the eyes but also the whole face. Yeah, it tightly frames a person or an object. It displays the most detail but not include the broader scene. Yeah, belum sampai broader scene, baru detail dari sebuah wajah, for example. Ya. It shows as cutaways from a more distant shot to show details such as characters' emotion or some intricate activity with their hands. Yeah. Sometimes you see a hand as particular attention to show the actually the emotion of the character. Yeah? So close-up are used for distinguishing main characters. Major characters are often given a close-up when they are introduced to indicate his or her importance. Yeah. Sometimes when you have a new character introduced in a movie or in a story, the director will show you a close-up of that character, yeah, so that the audiences or the watcher uh, 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 is introduced, well, yeah, to the audiences. Yeah, leading characters have most multi close up. Biasanya main characters itu di close up beberapa kali so that the audience understand him or her better. Yeah. Okay. This is an example of close up in the girl with the dragon tattoo, I think. Yeah. So there are so many close up in the earlier parts of this movie, I think, so that the audiences know her, the traits, yeah, and the character. This is, I think, also very important close up. Meryl Streep, I think. I forget the story, but Meryl Streep act as a divorced wife. Yeah, I think at that time. Yeah, and then medium shot. Yeah, medium shot is camera shot from a medium distance. Yeah, not that far, but not that close either. It is relatively good in showing facial expressions, but work well to show body language. Yeah? Medium shot is used to represent the importance and power. Yeah? As you see in the Titanic, I think this is also type of medium shot. Yeah, so you don't, you are not shown the visual expression in detail, but more on the relation, yeah, I think, between those characters and what happened in that story. Yeah. And then long shot or full shot or wide shot show the entire object or human figure intended to place the object in some relation to the surroundings. So not only the focus of attention is not on the object, but also the object in relation to the surrounding. It usually employs wide angle lens. Yeah? It normally shows an exterior, for example, outside of the building or a landscape. Yeah? It is often used to show scenes of thrilling action, for example, in a war or disaster movie, and then a little detail is visible and meant to give general impression, yeah, rather than specific information. So, in medium shot or in extreme close-up, you give specific information, especially the mimics and the emotional reaction of particular character. But in a long shot, usually you have more general impression. Sometimes you are introduced to particular setting, yeah, of a story. This is example of what happened and what will appear in the scene. with a long shot. Yeah? Yeah, you see here the landscape also. So what you are going to see is the relation between those characters. We don't know who they are, but in relation to the setting. Yeah? So all gave or each gave a particular impact, yeah, to the meaning of the the story or the movie in the spectator's eyes. Yeah, I will also give you example later on. Yeah, a scene may be shot from several angles. Yeah, not angels but angles. Remember how you pronounce it. Yeah, this will give different experience and sometimes emotion. It greatly affects the way the viewer perceive the subject. Yeah, for example, in high shot angle makes the subject look small or weak. Yeah, because the camera is in the high position, so the subject is in the lower position, so the subject look smaller or lower. Yeah, while the low shot angle makes the subject look powerful because the camera is put in the lower position and the subject looks so high and more powerful. Yeah, sometimes it gives the effect of threatening, yeah, threatening effect. Yeah? And sometimes the position of the camera is in the neutral position. Yeah, the neutral angle shot has no psychological effect on the on the viewer, or it's called the neutral impact. Yeah. For example, this is high angle shot. The position of the camera is in higher position, so the subject looks smaller and looks vulnerable, yeah, compared to the viewer. So camera angle, yeah, marks the specific location at which a camera is placed to take a shot. Yeah, a scene may be shot from several angles, you know that, from higher position or from the lower position. Yeah, this will give different experience. Yeah, when you see or watch the scene, yeah, you will have a different, emotion. Yeah, related to the position of the camera. Yeah. It greatly affects the way the viewer perceive the subject because of the camera and the size of the, so high shot angle makes the subject look smaller or weaker, yeah, than the viewer, and low shot angle makes the subject look powerful and threatening, yeah. And while neutral angle shot has no psychological effect on the viewer. Let's give example here. It's example of high angle shot. Sorry, sometimes people call it high shot angle. Yeah, I think the proper term is high angle shot. Ya, jadi shot yang diambil dari angle yang atas gitu ya, high angle shot ya. So you see here the subject looks vulnerable or looks powerless ya, towards the watcher. Yeah? Here, the same as what happened here. Yeah, so it looks vulnerable. Yeah, compared to low angle shot. Yeah, low angle shot is where the camera put in the lower than the subject, lower position and then the subject. It makes the subject looks more powerful. Yeah, as you see here in, I think in Pulp Fiction. Yeah, if some of you watch Pulp Fiction, I think you recognize this important shot. Yeah, here also example of low angle shot. Yeah, it's what happened in Joker. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's now I think continue to the camera movement and then we watch both video. Yeah. So beside a camera angle, we also have to pay attention on the camera movement. Camera movement is also very important because it also influence the audience emotion. Yeah, it represents the audience viewpoint or perspective. It plays an important role in developing the emotional language and affects the audience emotion reaction to the action. we have kinds of camera movement. You will later learn the static movement ya. Jadi kalau static pasti nggak movement ya, tetapi I think this video will also talk about static position of the camera and the impact that we have when the camera does not move. And then the panning, it's also an important camera movement, horizontal shift, and then tilting, vertical shift. Yeah, you will give example. We will give you example of both panning and then tilting, and then pushing in, pushing out. Yeah, zoom in, zoom out, crash zoom, for example. And then dolly. Dolly is placing the camera on a moving platform. Yeah, sometimes when you watch action movie, yeah, I think we have lots of dolly, dolly movement. Yeah, and then tracking, craning, and then combination of the tracking and craning. I think you will get better understanding from the example, because otherwise it's very difficult to explain without any clips. Yeah, so this is example of the movement. Yeah, dolly, and then pedestal, track, and then panning, and then tilting and rolling. Yeah,